We now welcome on Ja'Kai Young to the JMU Sports News Podcast, a defensive back transfer from Gardner Webb joining the Dukes. Ja'Kai, thanks for taking the time.
Of course, thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
Yeah, excited to have you on. My co-host can't be here tonight, but he did leave me with a question for you. Very important one. Kendrick or Drake?
I'm not keeping up with the beef, but off top, I just go with Drake, I guess. But I haven't been keeping up with the beef.
We talked to someone else and they also weren't keeping up with the beef. I guess busy time with the recruiting cycle and and how that goes. Yeah, so take me through your process. You enter the portal from Gardner Webb, you end up on JMU. I think you had some other offers from what you posted on social media. What's that process like from when you enter the portal and how do you go about choosing JMU as your destination?
Yeah, so initially, I entered the portal from the simple fact that my last coaching staff at Gardner Webb had left for the East Tennessee State University job, and that gave me the ability to weigh my options and see who wanted me and who were interested in me, and I kind of had the goal of moving up to FBS.
Mhm.
But I also wanted to make sure that the opportunity was right for me, being that it was my last year. So I wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to play and still get the same amount of reps I've been getting in the past 3 years of
Sure.
my collegiate career. And so when JMU contacted me, it was early, I want to say February, late
Mhm.
January. So I kind of had that contact with them throughout the whole process. And, I felt that they were, steadily contacting me, keeping up with me. And so just being on that visit and experiencing the campus, the atmosphere of JMU, seeing the facilities, it made my decision even easier just going through it.
That makes a ton of sense. I was curious too about your playing style. You had a great year last year. I think you had a couple interceptions. I think both of them went for touchdowns, which is pretty impressive. So, what stands out about your game? What do you sort of pride yourself on as a defensive back?
I think me personally, the boundary corner. I like being in the boundary, because
Hmm.
it's me versus their most of the time best receiver. But I feel like I'm best at being the mirror, press defensive back, but also have the I've been mentally gifted with the ability to play nickel as well, just being
Hmm.
able to process that as well. But I feel like being a corner, that's where I stand out as. But being a nickel, I also take pride in that as well. Just being able to move across around the field. Say if one of my teammates has to come out for injury or something like that, being able to switch positions to help my team. I pride myself on that as well.
Awesome. I don't know if a lot of JMU fans know this, but Gardner Webb's defense last year, yourself included, had a bunch of just studs on it, right? He had multiple guys transfer to FBS schools. I think Ty French ended up at West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. You guys had some
Yeah.
really, really impressive defenders. I think another guy's at Troy now. So what was it like playing on that defense, and what's it like when your coaching staff leaves and several of you guys are kind of looking at FBS landing spots?
Yeah. Well, the defense was what brought me to Gardner Webb in the first place. A lot of people. So this is my second time entering the portal,
Hmm.
and the first time it was between Gardner Webb and North Dakota State, and obviously North Dakota State is a powerhouse in FCS, but something about Gardner Webb and their defense that they had, during my first recruiting process, they had, I think they said 10 returning starters. So I just wanted to play on the defense. I was older and had experience, and that what kind of led me to them. And then the whole defense transferring and graduating and the coaching staff leaving, it was shocking just being on campus because I remained on campus to finish my undergrad. So being on campus and it kind of, to me, it felt kind of dead because everyone that was originally there when I first came was gone. So it was a definitely change in scenery. But I feel like Gardner Webb was a stepping stone for everyone, really. So for the players that transferred and moved up, even the coaches that left for ETSU, because I feel like everyone's in a better place now.
Makes a ton of sense. Where'd you play before
Yeah.
Gardner Webb?
Started my career at Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven. I'm originally from Connecticut as well.
Yeah, I was curious. I know a lot of the JMU coaches have Northeast connections, not necessarily Connecticut, but I know they've got a bunch of Northeast ties. Did you know any of them before this process? And I guess if you bonded at all over the fact that there's sort of those Northeast ties between you guys.
Coach Chesney, I've heard of him, but my freshman year, I think he was already at Holy Cross. But
Yeah.
just being able to talk to them and like them understanding my background and where I come from, it was definitely a way to connect with them. And also, one of the reasons why, I did choose Hughes Madison was because of Coach Chesney and his path, how he's been moving up
Hmm.
throughout the divisions. He started D3, D2, D1, FCS, and now FBS. And me personally, it's kind of the same journey. Me started D2 and then FCS. Now taking my talents to FBS program is, I feel like we have a lot in common.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Chris Fitzgerald, who's transferring in from Youngstown State, and he had mentioned sort of that not getting heavily recruited out of high school. It sort of adds a
Mhm.
chip on his shoulder during games. Do you feel that same way when you're going up against? I know you had some nice highlights, nice plays against Appalachian State last year as well. But when you play some of those FBS teams or teams at the top of the FCS, do you feel an additional chip on your shoulder, I guess, when you're going one of those receivers?
Part of me does, just not, like you said, not being recruited, not having any stars out of high school. But when the game starts, that goes out the window. For me, I have a saying that, I'm here for a reason. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
there may be a 3-star, 4-star receiver in front of me, but I'm in front of you for a reason. So that's how my thinking process is, my mentality is when it comes to playing.
Awesome. I was curious too, your conversations, I guess, with the coaching staff. There's, it seems like at least a pretty significant opening or chance to earn playing time immediately for any defensive back in JMU's room. There's not a ton of returning experience in the secondary. A lot of guys graduated. What was that like talking about them about potential playing time and the chance to come in and compete and based on your credentials, have a decent chance to earn a starting gig?
Yeah, well, like I mentioned before, I already was, had contact with them
Hmm.
early in the year. But when the freshman corner he announced that he was transferring, I just gave me even a better opportunity to come in and earn playing time. But I was never one of those persons or people to demand playing time.
Right.
Or if I come to you guys, I want to start, I want to play. I'm the opposite. If I come to you guys, I want to have the opportunity and fairness to earn a spot on the field and earn my playing time. And they, after conversation with them, I believe that I do have that opportunity here at James Madison, and I'm just ready to get to work and earn my spot.
Awesome. And I've got to ask any corner, especially a corner that loves going one-on-one against the best guys, where do you stand on trash talking? Are you a big trash talker? Is it limited trash talk and you just sort of silently work? What's it like for
I'm
you on
the
game days?
I'm the silent reaper. That's who I am. Like I'm the person who's not going to say nothing. Like if you talk to me, I may talk a little trash back, but for the most part, like I'm silent. I'm locked in. I'm mentally focused on my assignment, my job, my team. I'm not really focused on like getting in the other player head because if I do my job well and I execute and lock them down, that's going to make them mad even more. I'm not even saying nothing, so I feel like I don't have to do much talking on the field. I let my play do the talking. Actually, yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think that'll fit well in the secondary. It's always fun to ask corners sort of how they stand on that
yeah.
stuff. And I know sort of your career, especially last year, two pick sixes, a lot of big plays. Do you have an interception or a play from the last couple of seasons or last year that stands out as a favorite for you?
I would say probably my first interception against EKU
Hmm.
because it's like as a corner, it's one of those things like really any position on the field, like even though the play was made on Saturday, really that play was made Monday, Tuesday in the
Yeah.
film room, just studying and like, you know, just remember, okay, he has a tight alignment, quarterback reading my eyes, it's a RPO, just trusting my gut and trusting my film work and preparation that, being able to jump the play and make a play like that. So not because like, scored the touchdown, but just because like I was able to like, prepare for that moment and my film work came through.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have any NFL guys that you sort of emulate your game after or look up to from the defensive back standpoint?
Uh Probably multiple.
Hmm.
So like for like but like all in like so I look at different guys for different reasons. So like
Yeah.
I look at like Jalen Ramsey for his ability to play multiple positions, be physical, and then I look at Pat Surtain with his technique, or I look at you know uh Derek Stingley for his footwork. So it's just like different. Just try to pick up different keys from different guys, but I don't try to emulate this one guy in particular.
That makes a ton of sense. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, maybe not the Silent Reaper, but a pretty good corner
Yeah,
nonetheless. He's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
willing to talk. Awesome. Well, congrats again on the commitment. I know JMU fans are excited to have you, especially given what you've done the last few years in college. I think you'll fit right into the cornerback room. So thanks for taking the time and sharing some insights.